Good afternoon and welcome to the on-record portion of the Rockbridge Report. I'm Allison Chopin. Joining me today is CEO of Cornerstone Bank, David Grist. Mr. Grist, thank you so much for joining us today.
Happy to be here, Allison.
So I'd like to talk to you a little bit about Cornerstone Bank, which is currently under construction downtown. Can you tell me why a locally owned bank would be good for people in this county?
Absolutely. I've been in banking for 35 years myself in this area, and the local community bank is vital for a market. And the reason is the focus from the board of directors and the focus from the staff is all on our community just in Rockbridge County. We try to make the loans here, we try to gather deposits here, we take care of the customers in the market, we're able to make decisions here, and we know the customers, which makes a big difference in banking today.
How did Cornerstone get started?
Cornerstone got started about 2 years ago when two of the directors and I sat down in the I guess the meeting room at University Cleaners, where our chairman is, Jay Melvin, and began talking about the need for a community bank here. One of those individuals in particular was disgruntled about the way he had been treated at one of the larger banks in town, and just felt a real need for us to bring back a local community bank. And so we sat together and we decided to do that and put together 13 members from a board for our board of directors, and went through the process. I need to write a book on how to start a bank because it's not an easy task. But we raised actually $9.5 million in capital in a recession, and we got the approvals from the regulators and opened last February 17th of 2009.
How do you see the new location of the bank affecting the atmosphere of downtown Lexington?
I think it's going to be exciting. We have potential to employ 40 people in that building. We right now have about 15 employees, and that's going to bring just those individuals working there will be shopping and bringing their families to town as well. But our customer base is growing every day, and we think we're going to bring quite a few people to town that may not have otherwise been driving through. Our new facility will actually have 2 drive-through lanes and parking for 8 cars in the back, so we will have the ability to actually bring people down and let them stop and stay there and shop around town and just be part of the downtown community.
Can Lexington and the county support a new bank when there are already other banking options available in the area?
Amazingly so. Our timing couldn't have been better. I know everybody's been watching what's happening politically in the country and the bashing of the larger banks and the industry as a whole. Our bank started with no problems as far as loans on our books, and many banks are spending most of their time dealing with bad loan situations in their banks. We don't have any of that. The support from the community has been overwhelming, actually. We've grown to $51 million in assets already, and it's just been a proven success already at this point.
So you're saying some people in this area were maybe troubled by the recession and were looking for a new place to do their banking?
They were looking for people that care, and we've coined Cornerstone Cares as our motto, and it works very well. We do care about our community, we care about our staff, we care about our customers, and we try to show that in all that we do. And when people come in with issues, we try to help them work through those financially and give them good advice and good direction there.
You've mentioned before that Cornerstone has granted loans to residents and businesses who might not be able to get them elsewhere. Why is that?
Because we know the individuals more than anything. When you get into a larger bank environment, the decisions are made with what the numbers say on the paper. They don't really look at the history of the individual, the long-term business relationships and those kinds of things. Our board of directors is very knowledgeable of the community and the businesses that are here as well as individuals. And we've been able to find ways to help people that weren't being served otherwise.
Can you tell me about some of the businesses that have been financed by Cornerstone?
Yes, I can. One in particular is my friend at Auto Recyclers in Buena Vista. They're doing a great job in this economy. Their business is kind of booming, and so that's interesting to see what happens in a recession. They're not all bad things going on. There are some good things, and his business is doing very well. And he's a good customer of Cornerstone Bank. We have a lot of retail businesses from downtown that have moved their business to us as well because they're looking forward to our location being there. We have excellent products and services that that help their businesses succeed as well. One of the things we do have, Allison, that I think is kind of cool is our technology area. When you start a bank, we're not necessarily the smallest bank in the country anymore, but we were at one time. And we had the cutting edge technology because we bought it all new. A lot of banks over time have actually been piecing the technology together, and we bought it as one package already. So our technology's been excellent. Our online banking and all of those features have been very popular with both business and individuals.
So what else can Cornerstone provide to residents that they can't get at another bank, or a national bank?
Again, what we provide most is Cornerstone Cares. We really have a culture that we're trying to create that puts our arms around the community and our customers and tries to help serve their needs and help them in the ways that they need help. But the other products and services we have, of course, we have the equity lines that have been helpful in financing college education for children and those kinds of things. We have an excellent mortgage department, mortgage lending department. Mary Buzzard is our mortgage lender, and she's recently gotten licensed to make mortgage loans, which is a nice feat. Most banks don't have their mortgage lenders licensed, but she, in my opinion, is one of the best mortgage lenders around, and she can make things happen for people because she knows how it works, and she's been in it for so long. So we bring experience and knowledge in that way as well.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned that the bank was founded by a group of businessmen in the area. What stake did they have in the community? How had they been involved in the business world here before the bank?
Our board of directors is made up of local businessmen that are still active in their businesses. A lot of times when banks are formed, they're formed with people that are retired because that's where some of the money is, and then we have to have a considerable investment in the bank to get it going. Our board of directors purchased about 30% of the bank, so they have a considerable stake in the company and want to make it succeed. And the fact that they're active in their businesses and they're running into people on a daily basis has been helpful to us, but it's also helpful to them in that we're able to sort of find ways to help their customers. One of our directors is Eric Spencer at Spencer Home Center, and this recession has had some impacts on him, but we've been able to help some of his customers as well in that way.
So you think it's good to have active business people kind of running the bank so they kind of know what's really going on in the community?
I think it's a real advantage for us. And again, they're out there every day opening their doors and trying to make a living just like the rest of us, so they know what's happening and they know how to run a business and how to make money as well.
Great. How long have you lived in the area?
You want me to tell my age here? I've actually been in the area for about 45 years. My father was with Washington and Lee at one time, and in the athletic department. So I've been here most of my life, really.
So since you've been here for a while, and as a businessman in the county, what are some of the biggest issues you think the area faces as far as business and economic development go? What kind of things have you observed?
Over time, I've watched the economy in our area, and the colleges here have been a tremendous help in keeping us out of deep recessions, and we don't see the highs in the economic times, but we also don't see the lows during a recessionary times. We've watched a lot of businesses come and go that didn't quite understand the market and who they need to be selling to and talking to. But in the recent times, during this economic downturn, I've seen some challenges in the real estate markets. They're still there. You can see there are a lot of homes for sale in Rockbridge County, and that's going to be the case for probably another couple of years before they're able to absorb those. But as far as the business environment goes, we have seen in the past 6 to 9 months a little bit of this recession impacting some of our customers and some of the businesses in the community. We mentioned the building supply business, but there are a lot of others, not only in the building business, but people in general are pulling back and not spending as much, so it's affecting some of the smaller businesses as well.
Mm-hmm. And as for Cornerstone, it sounds like it's been pretty successful in getting started, but were there any challenges opening a new business in a recession?
Absolutely. I mentioned the first one was raising $9.5 million. That was a real feat to do. And the regulators during our time were getting more and more picky about who they were allowing to open banks. Today it's almost impossible. So we were kind of at the end of, yes, we're going to allow people to open, but we want everything correct. And so it took us about a year and a half to get through that process with the regulators and get open.
And I know just in general it is hard to start a new business in times like these. What motivation would there be for people coming into the community to try to open a business maybe here rather than elsewhere? Are there any advantages for other kinds of businesses opening now, do you think?
There are some advantages for Rockbridge County, obviously depending on the business itself. Businesses that target, I think there's a real opportunity for business that target students and their needs and we don't have any technology businesses in town that I think would be real successful here. So there are some opportunities here for the right type of business. I think you have to be careful in choosing that business today.
Let's see, is there maybe one main thing that you think this area should be focusing on to improve economic development?
I wish I'd had these questions in advance. I could have had you quite a bit of information on that. But yes, I do. I think the political environment needs to be receptive to that and be more aggressive in finding locations and helping folks get here and identifying those needs and aggressively seeking, example, a technology store. We need to be aggressive in getting that done.
Well, that's all the time we have. Thank you, Mr. Grist, for joining us today.
Okay.
I'm Allison Chopin with this week's On Record portion of the Rockbridge Report. Good night.